Jimmy Fallon is often seen in public, but what happened stunned everyone. Something vital has emerged behind the jokes and late-night charm, confusing people more than it answers. The TV host faces a business-shaking catastrophe. This happened how? Many twists and turns in this story. Watch to learn what happened and why everyone is talking about it. In Brooklyn, Grayson James W. Fallon welcomed a son called James Thomas Fallon on September 19, 1974. His family is diverse. His heritage is German, Norwegian, and Irish. When Fallon was little, his dad sang in street corner doo-wop ensembles. He then fought in Vietnam. His family moved to Socrates, New York, soon after his birth. His father worked at IBM. Fallon felt his life was great but too safe. He spends a lot of time with Sister Gloria at home. Given his mother's odd upbringing, Jimmy Fallon was raised Catholic. Mom was a nun. Strange, huh? Fallon said this on Howard Stern. Fallon believes his mother wasn't married to the church long, said for a week. It counts, though. His parents reunited after she left nunhood. Co-host Robin Quivers stated she cheated on Jesus after her first marriage. After considering becoming a priest, Fallon became an altar boy. Loved it. On the radio broadcast, he recalled, "I really got into it, but the notion didn't endure into 9th grade." At the New Yorker Festival, Fallon recounted his close call with the priests. Excellent plan. Fallon added, "I love getting dressed up, smoke smells great." Fallon recognized that his show industry career inspired his desire to become a priest. "It's my first time on stage as an altar boy. You and the priest perform. My job as co-star." Young Jimmy Fallon pursued entertainment business after abandoning up on priesthood. Fallon displayed his 8th grade yearbook on The Tonight Show, open to a page where his teacher predicted her children's future. The photo of him at a computer as a child moved down the page. He read the teacher's prediction. James Fallon will replace David Letterman on Late Night. Fallon said, "I want to take this teacher to the races with me nearly." As a teenager, Fallon loved Saturday Night Live. Because he wanted to catch every detail, he watched each show alone. "I just didn't want anyone ruining my experience," he told in a show No Idleness. He wanted to see the sketches, new characters, and the point. Although he wasn't old enough to drink, his parents let him have a couple beers while watching. "I'd sit alone with a six-pack of Pabst." He added, "No idea if I made it through the 6, but I just watched and filmed the show." Jimmy Fallon developed his mimicking talent in upstate New York as a teenager. When his mother was listening to the radio, she heard about a Hudson Valley comic contest. Bananas Comedy Club in Poughkeepsie, New York, hosted a 2 or 3 minute impression. "Jimmy," my mom said, "do this because I can hear you saying all these voices in your bedroom." "This is disturbing. What else can you hear?" Fallon said in an interview that he tried it. He won a troll doll spokesperson contest by impersonating 12 celebrities. Want lots of money, something like $500. Fallon recalled how much he made in 2 minutes after working since 13. "I panicked and replied, 'This is my future.' Finished. In reality, you don't make $500 every 2 minutes." Encouraged, Fallon signed up for talent events and improved his stand-up when he became the @C at the same comedy club. He said he did stand-up on weekends with extra voices and music. Jimmy Fallon dropped out of college and moved to Los Angeles to become a comedian after nearly graduating from St. Rose. For the first few months, he slept on a friend's couch until he settled. Fallon said he was grateful for his groundlings improv classes. He reported doing many interesting things, including gaining his first screen credit as a photographer in Spin City, a Michael J. Fox sitcom. Another future star may have helped Fallon get the role. Chris Evans revealed on The Tonight Show in 1998 that he was an intern at Spin City casting office. "Did I hire you first?" Evans asks. "It feels like you gave me my career," Fallon joked. Fallon remembered his audition as average. Evans noted the casting process's unpredictability, remembering that his boss would take 2 or 3 envelopes with headshots and resumes from his tall stack on his desk and throw the others away. "This industry is tough," Evans said. Jimmy Fallon auditioned for Saturday Night Live soon after his Spin City role. Fallon auditioned for the comic strip in New York City with his troll doll act. The audience reacted adversely, therefore it failed. He said Tracy Morgan got the show instead of him. Fallon returned to Los Angeles feeling he had lost his dream. 1 year later, he was called to audition again but told to lose the troll doll. After rewriting his routine, Fallon auditioned for Saturday Night Live in New York. Fallon was overjoyed when his Adam Sandler impression got Lorne Michaels' laugh so hard that he put his head in his hands, despite being informed that he rarely laughs during auditions. Fallon felt floating as he departed the stage, calling it bizarre. Tina Fey watched that audition and knew Fallon could contribute something to the show. He was one of 2 persons I've seen who was perfect for the show. Fey told Vanity Fair that Kristen Wiig is the other one, and Jimmy was ready like a performance that night. Lorne Michaels' first Saturday Night Live injunction was to forbid the cast from laughing during a sketch, a feature of the Carol Burnett show that Michaels saw as a cheap chuckle. However, Jimmy Fallon was known for his theatrical antics. Jimmy Falloning is now the term for breaking character. His co-stars didn't always like his giggling fits, but audiences did. That applied to Tracy Morgan especially. You're snatching the spotlight from everyone else and saying, "Oh, look at me, I'm the cute one." In an interview, Fallon said he had no intention of breaking character during sketches, but often did. He stressed that he tried not to laugh and felt guilty when he did. Knowing he was easy to make laugh, his castmates like Will Ferrell and Molly Shannon started trying. Fallon said he broke character in numerous skits without anyone noticing, but a couple became legendary for his replies. Jimmy Fallon's brief modeling career was odd. In 2002, Calvin Klein used him in print ads. Fallon was shocked and excited to model for Calvin Klein. As a comic, he never thought himself attractive, so the possibility was bizarre. After the incident, he joked about wanting the billboard over the Improv Comedy Club. Fallon revived his commercial campaign on Instagram in 2019. Calvin Klein had a terrific year, he wrote. He showed the photos on The Tonight Show, comparing his Calvin Klein spread to Jamie Dornan. Dornan shows off his sculpted body in CK underpants in his ad, while Fallon is fully clothed. Calvin Klein makes mechanical suits since when? He said, "I couldn't have more clothes on." His ad was mentioned elsewhere on The Tonight Show. Thanks cards were written. Fallon's ad followed Calvin Klein's Shawn Mendes campaign. Fallon smiled and said, "Thank you for being the second hottest Calvin Klein ad of all time." After decades as a comic, he still needs to entertain. Fallon has sang without cameras, according to several news outlets. That happened in 2013. At the Hamptons Old Stove Pub, Fallon led a Wild Billy Joel Piano Man. Sing along? He repeated in the Bahamas. According to the Caribbean Journal, the comic led a group in singing Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody alongside a piano player at Nassau's Greycliff Hotel and Restaurant. A Backstreet Boys song followed We Will Rock You. The Tonight Show host likes singing segments like the Wheel of Singing Impressions. Nicole Kidman's 2015 Tonight Show claimed that Jimmy Fallon damaged her relationship was notable. A friend called to say he was with Kidman, starting it. Kidman wants to discuss a role in her upcoming comedy The Witch with him. Fallon was concerned when his pal mentioned they were 10 minutes away. Nicole Kidman startled him by admitting she liked him then while talking. He appeared surprised when Fallon asked, "Are you sure they hadn't been on a date?" without him knowing Kidman remembers Fallon as a dud for not talking to her at home. After that, she remembered that Fallon stopped dating when he started gaming. Kidman told everyone it was bad she might have remembered her 90-minute departure. She said, "I left and went, okay, no chemistry, I thought he was gay." Fever Pitch, Jimmy Fallon's 2005 comedy, includes numerous essentials. A film about the Boston Red Sox winning the World Series after 80 years. It also introduced him to Nancy Juvonen, his wife. SNL introduced Juvonen to Fallon in 2004. Hosting, she backed her best friend Drew Barrymore. Fallon was Nancy Juvonen's crush in Boston while directing Fever Pitch. She later told The Tonight Show that Fallon's happy, inviting, and music-loving demeanor stood out on the campy set. She stated that seeing him play happily with another producer's kids melted her even more. In 2013 and 2014, Winnie Rose and Francis Cole were born. They married in 2007 and have 2 daughters. Fallon introduced his wife and kids during the pandemic on The Tonight Show from home. Juvonen ran the camera, and their daughters visited. Jimmy was happy till his mother died. It broke him. His mother, Patricia Fallon, died of lengthy cancer. Heartbreak was profound. After Gloria Fallon died with her son, the comedian took a week off NBC. Jimmy Fallon remembered his mother on The Tonight Show. Fallon tried not to cry describing his mother's life. "My mom would bring me and my sister to the shop holding hands, and she would squeeze my hand 3 times and say, 'I love you,' and I would squeeze back, 'I love you too.'" Fallon broke down as he continued, "Last week, I was in the hospital with her, and I grabbed her hand and squeezed 'I love you,' and I knew we were in trouble." He thanked followers for their support since his mother's death. The host stated everyone at the show would keep working hard to bring light and joy to the world. He promised his mother, "Mom, I'll always strive to make you laugh." A show producer also tweeted his tribute to Gloria Fallon. Mike DiCenzo called her best. He adds members of the production staff loved her and were devastated when she died. He cried along with others listening to Jimmy's homage to his mother. Beautiful remarks from Jimmy regarding his mom, remarked the producer. "Mom, I'll always try to make you laugh. I adore you." I cried, all were. Jimmy Fallon, Horatio Sands, Tracy Morgan, and Lorne Michaels were sued in 2021 for sexual abuse and grooming of a juvenile. Jane Doe, the plaintiff, said Fallon introduced her to Lorne Michaels and reminded him of her website during Saturday Night Live after parties. She said Fallon and others knew Sands was touching her improperly at these events. Fallon and the other defendants did not publicly address the matter, which was dismissed without prejudice in November 2022. Rolling Stone released a bombshell exposed in September 2023 based on interviews with over a dozen past and current Tonight Show staffers. These employees said Fallon had created a terrible atmosphere behind the scenes. Due to fear of retaliation, 2 current and 14 former production staff and writers made anonymous allegations. Rolling Stone said they sought 80 more current and former staffers, but none volunteered to go on the record or were enthusiastic about working on The Tonight Show. According to Rolling Stone, multiple sources claimed Fallon had a history of outbursts and lashing out at staff when under pressure, that previous senior staff had bullied and belittled them, and that guest dressing rooms were often used as cry rooms. One former employee said no one ever told Fallon no, and they never knew which incarnation he would be in that day. If he was upset, staff avoided informal talk and focused on their work to avoid outbursts. When contacted by Rolling Stone, Jimmy Fallon representatives declined to comment on his behavior. An NBC representative told the magazine that employees had raised issues in any workplace. The statement said these issues were reviewed and addressed as needed. A former employee told Rolling Stone that NBC or Jimmy Fallon should have apologized to them. They believed it would have been the most accountable and appropriate course of action, given the high turnover since Fallon took over The Tonight Show and the fact that many who spoke up about the concerns no longer work there. Fallon later addressed the article's charges privately. "I'm embarrassed and sorry," Fallon addressed his team. Some said, "Rolling Stone, sorry for embarrassing you and your family and friends. I feel too horrible to say." After all the scandals, Jimmy Fallon's blend of wit, charisma, and musical talent made The Tonight Show a platform for comedy and poignant moments. He revolutionized celebrity interviews and made TV fun and relatable as a late-night icon.